This is a New Zealand story about a New Zealand driver, a car manufactured in New Zealand, and 2 record-shattering laps. Liam Lawson is a young New Zealand race driver, backed by Rodin Cars and aiming for the top of motorsport. The Rodin FZED is manufactured at the state-of-the-art facility in the South Island of New Zealand. Liam had only ever driven the FZED at Rodin's private test track, only seen once before in public. It was now time to show race fans just how impressive and fast this car is, and to chase the fastest ever lap times at 2 iconic racetracks in New Zealand.
Doing the lap record, I didn't. Obviously to some very cool places around the world, but nothing is nowhere near as nice as this, so I always look forward to coming to this track.
Liam had recently returned to New Zealand after a full season of racing Formula 2 and DTM in Europe. With 1 day of testing completed in the FZED, the Rodin team finished the final preparations.
Is there a spot, yeah? I'm good, yeah. We only did a couple of laps. We had a small issue, but nothing major. It's just the car's safety measures are very, very safe because it doesn't need to be risky when obviously the car's running at David's track. So yeah, but it felt good. So I think from what I gather from people listening, it sounded cool as well. So I'm looking forward to having a proper go. We'll put some better tyres on today. Last time I was here racing, it was the GT. I raced an Audi GT3. I actually shunted it in qualifying, but had a really fun race. Did the 3-hour endurance race, which was really cool. So before that was TRS. I did 2 years of TRS racing here, and it's just such a fun track to drive.
There's been a lot of talk.
A lot of talk about doing the lap record. I didn't. I know. I was like, I said it could set the lap record, but then people were like, he's going to set the lap record. And now, what? I mean, I'll try. But.
Well, I know, yeah.
We're here at Highlands for the New Zealand Summer Championship. We have some of the most amazing lineup of drivers, stars and cars, and Central Otago weather has really turned it on this weekend. 8 years in, this is one of the most exciting race weekends that we've had, certainly in the last 2 years as well. So it's been a fantastic weekend. So Highlands is nestled in this amazing backdrop of Central Otago. We're surrounded by the dry high country on one side. We have the snow-capped mountains on the other. Lake Dunstan is a 3-minute drive from Highlands. We literally have this unique backdrop, and everything that we thought would work against us are actually the key components that have made us incredibly special. We're absolutely honoured, delighted to have the one and only Liam Lawson here. He is just an exceptional young man, and I don't need to talk to his motor racing talent. Everybody knows that, but certainly his character, his generosity, his humbleness is just, it's amazing to be behind the scenes and watching a world champion in the making.
From a parent's perspective, it's very humbling to see people give their time and effort. You know, there's a lot of people here in New Zealand who would like to see a Kiwi back in Formula 1, but it's actually more than that. Like, the relationships that have been forged over the last few years with a lot of these people is, you know, it's very strong. They're friends. You know, they take the highs and lows just as much as Liam. I think that people are that involved in our son. You know, that's pretty amazing. You know, trying not to blow his trumpet too much, but it was actually quite a, as far as a young boy goes, he's very headstrong. Always knew what he wanted, and sometimes difficult to deal with. But now, I mean, we're just super proud that he's going out and chasing his dream, a dream that a lot of people said he couldn't do. And I said to him, if this is what you want, you know, you've got to go out there and chase it, you know, with everything you've got.
When we look at Liam, we actually need to take a step back and look at the series that brought him here. You know, I think people so underestimate the power of TRS here in New Zealand and how incredibly fortunate we are to have it. And Liam here at Highlands with the TRS series actually launched this whole journey. That pass here on the Toyota corner in the wet put him in the radar with helmet, and Tony Quinn will even say that it was at that time that he realised that he had a serious set of bollocks.
There's a lot of talk about Rodin out there and the FZED, the F0, the different projects that David and his team are working on, but this is the first time that a lot of the New Zealand public are going to have a chance to see it. It's the first time I've had a chance to see it after hearing about it so much and talking about it so much with everyone. So there's certainly that attraction. It's basically a Formula One car, a modern Formula One car, which we don't get treated to in New Zealand at all, really. And of course, Liam, being a young Formula 2 star, he's on the brink of Formula One. He's certainly one of the biggest names in motorsport in New Zealand at the moment. He's right up there with the likes of Nick Cassidy, Brendan Hartley, Shane Magnesberg and Scott McLaughlin. He's well up there. He's one step from Formula One. I think people are going to see a lot of noise, see a lot of speed out there in the Rodin car, and to have Liam driving it, it's something super special. Driving a Formula One car that's been developed and built in New Zealand is super special.
It's fantastic having Liam as an ambassador for Rodin Cars. For one, it's great to have an actual driver giving us constant live feedback, and it's just great that he's from New Zealand as well. So we've brought the car here to showcase it off. We're actually in a position where we're ready to start selling these vehicles. We realize we're a very private company and we're a little bit far out of Christchurch, so we wanted to be able to bring the car out for people to come and see it.
This weekend, having Liam here with the Rodin FZED has just taken the event to an entire new level. You can see people coming through the gates asking, where do I see Liam, where do I see the Rodin? They're down here, they're in the pits. You could have heard a penny drop yesterday while we were waiting for the car to go out. But there is no doubt that Liam is the fastest person in the fastest car that you have ever seen on the circuit here at Highlands.
I think people got a taste of how fast it is. Hopefully today, with more laps, I can show how fast it actually is. I think we plan on doing 5 or 6 proper push laps, and yeah, I'll basically go as fast as I can.
The warm-up laps are over, and now it's on to the flying record lap attempt. This is Liam Lawson heading down towards the bus stop, a high-speed entry into this corner. You have to be tight, you have to be super accurate.
And it's a corner that a lot of drivers tell me you take 5 bites to get through. It just goes on and on.
Look at the commitment of the car. This is full noise as the Rodin FZED looks to set a record attempt here at Highlands. Of course, it's already had one at Donington in the UK before it came back to New Zealand. And here he goes.
He's in second gear and he'll wind this up as he goes through here. The Pirellis are working very hard on this car. Under the bridge.
And the next part of the lap takes you down towards the hairpin. 5 different lines you can head into the hairpin on the circuit. I'm sure he's figured out the one to make this the lap record attempt. Heading into the hairpin, here we go.
Down to second gear, yes, down to second gear, down to first gear, and he'll pull it out now and hear the sound of this car as he accelerates down the straight. The crowd haven't gone away, lunchtime or not, they are watching and they are gripped.
This sounds magnificent, coming down through the high-speed chicane and then up towards the bridge, the iconic part of the Highland circuit. And off the bridge he comes. That's full commitment.
And full control. This lap is looking really good. Oh, he's twitching here. Oh, what an armful. Third gear, first gear.
Down into the last major corner on the circuit before you wind it up and down the front straight to stop the clocks. How's this going to look?
I wonder. It's got to be well under, of course. And it'll be a long time before we see him like this again, I suggest.
coming towards the checkered flag to complete the lap. This lap is going to be a 1:23. Yes, 1:23.75. 6 seconds under his own lap record.
Only 6 seconds.
Final run of the weekend, so very, very positive run as well. Did a 3 or 4 laps, flat out pushing. Tyres are pretty finished now, to be fair. But the pace was fast. We didn't have any issues, so it's a nice clean run. Got to enjoy myself as well, do a couple of good laps. And yeah, I guess we also set the unofficial record, but it's nice to show people how fast the car actually is. I think we did a 1:23, which is, yeah, 4 or 5 seconds faster than what we did back in TRS, but with a new set of tyres, a proper balance on the car, it'll go faster anyway, so it's just a bit of a taste of, you know, what it's actually like. So I guess people got an idea for that. It sounds really cool as well. I almost wanted to watch somebody drive. I could see what it was like on track as well, but I had a great time driving it. Normally at the track, obviously you have, you know, the day or however many sessions to make sure everything's running good. Here we only had that really small window, and every time they nailed it, so the car was bang on by Sunday. I like driving on Tony's tracks as well, going to all of them, so this is definitely up there. I would say it's honestly my favourite track in the world. It's just a really exciting place to drive, so yeah, I had a great time. To Dave and Rodin Cars, to have them on board again this year is huge. I think for people it was quite cool to see the spectacle of Red Bull and Rodin mixed into the car, and to have that again this year, to have David supporting is huge, and yeah, wouldn't be racing without them.
The next stop on Rodin's summer tour with the FZ, Ruapuna Park Raceway, near the city of Christchurch.
Honestly, I haven't been in Christchurch for too long. We need 2 days. 5-6 years ago was the last time I drove here. It is a little bit different to how I remember it, honestly. It's a lot tighter and twistier than I thought, but maybe that's because we're going a bit quicker in this car. It's a cool track. I always liked racing here. I think I did 2 weekends here in Formula Fords.
Liam first drove at Ruapuna in a Formula Ford, in a season that saw him win 20 of the 22 races he started in. And he became New Zealand champion with 14 wins from 15 starts.
Some of the best racing I've ever had was in Formula Ford, so yeah, really, really fun car to drive. I think probably the most important car for people, to, especially young guys coming from karting, to step into. And Formula Fords is really the class where I think you learn the basics of having a feeling of the car moving around. There's no wings, the tyres are not slick, so the car does move a lot. And it teaches you a lot about driving. Slipstreaming as well is a big factor in it. And it's important, I think, to do it before you go into wings and slicks. Guys like Shane Van Gisbergen, Nick Cassidy, Scott Dixon, Richie Stanaway, all those guys were my idols when I was growing up. And to be fair, I still look up to them.
And someone who looks up to Liam's progression from Formula Ford to Formula 2 is Christchurch teenager Louis Sharp.
It's real cool to see someone as great as Liam out on the track here, but also see a car like that with such high calibre just doing laps around Ruapuna. My goal is Formula 1. I mean, I think that would be absolutely awesome. That's definitely been my dream since I've started racing, and it's great to have someone like Liam to look up to, and just it gives me a good idea of what I need to do to get to the same level as him.
A weird feeling, honestly. It's only a couple of years ago I was racing in Formula Ford here, so it's nice for me to come back instead and see the racing back in New Zealand, but I don't feel any different to what I did a couple of years ago. I've just done a lot of different racing since then, so timing for me has been really, really great. It's nice to come and help these guys as well in any way I can, but yeah, I'm honestly just enjoying watching.
Louis Sharp has since moved to the UK and stepped up to British Formula 4, also backed by Rodin Car's founder David Dicker. With the FZ preparations completed, it's now time for Liam to put on a show for the spectators and see just how fast the FZ can lap Ruapuna Raceway.
Just a week ago, Liam set an unofficial lap record at Highlands, bettered his own official lap record. He's here at Ruapuna to have a crack at another outright record. Of course, an official lap record has to be set during a race. These demonstration runs just really show how fast a car like this really is.
The official lap record is held by Scott Dixon, the time of 1:15.81, which was set at the New Zealand Grand Prix here in 1998. Scott was driving a Formula Holden.
Well, the last time Liam drove here it was in the Formula Ford, and I'm sure the FZ's going to go faster than a Ford and faster than a Formula Holden. This is a magnificent lap already. They've got a set of new Pirelli tyres waiting for tomorrow, but this one on Saturday already looks very quick.
He's in the tight part of the Ruapuna track here, and the lines are so important for Liam here. A very tidy, but one little mistake could cause real problems in getting a real fast time. So far, so good. He's now entering into the old part of the circuit. He'll head down the short back straight for the last time. They hear the sound of this car wind up. Look at the crowd on the sideline there. They haven't moved a bit. They're captivated by this lap of Liam as he winds this thing up, and the sound of it, oh, it's magnificent.
Crosses the line and it's a 1:11.2. That's 4.6 seconds quicker.
Yesterday we dropped the pressures a little bit, and I did a cool down in between a couple of push laps to help the tyre sort of rest, and then felt really, really good again. So the lap time came down. I was more comfortable today as well. Still not the perfect lap, so I think tomorrow we can maybe go a bit faster. We have another set of new tyres.
Liam didn't get another chance to drive the FZ at Ruapuna. With the weather deteriorating and the heavy rain settling in, it was far too risky for a demo lap and impossible to achieve a faster lap time. These days, Liam only returns home for a New Zealand summer vacation at Christmas time. It's already been a big journey for the schoolboy who raced Formula Ford at Ruapuna to now be in the cut and thrust of Formula 2 with a constant push towards Formula 1. A goal he has never lost sight of.
The thought process from when I was younger, I never had doubt. I got told by lots of people that, a lot of successful New Zealand drivers as well, that, you know, guys I would look up to would even tell me that it's not going to happen, you know, you should look at other options, especially when I talk about Formula 1, you know, Formula 1's, it's the pinnacle, and when I say that I want to be I'm 8-year-old and I'm saying I want to be a Formula 1 driver, they're like, you know, you should be looking at other options, not Formula 1, and no matter what they said, I never was like, oh yeah, okay, I was always like, okay, and then still had the same thought process. I still never had really any doubt about it. So I think the basic goal is to never give up, and to anybody that gives you bad advice is just not listen to it.
Liam's continuing journey towards Formula 1, the evolving story of Louis Sharp, and the building of the incredible Rodin FZED is all down to the vision of one man, Rodin Car's founder, David Dicker.
Well, I only met David for the first time on Thursday afternoon when I flew down. So, yeah, I mean, what do you say? You know, he's, along with a lot of other people, made his career moving forward possible.
Yeah, so really enjoyed the last 2 weeks to finally show people what the car's like, the FZ's like. I think people knew about what David and Rodin Cars were doing, but to finally show people on track how fast the car is and how nice it is has been pretty cool. For me, being home as well has been nice. Got to drive at Highlands, which is my favourite track, and then coming to Christchurch here. Hadn't driven Ruapuna since Formula Ford, so had a really good time the last couple of weeks, and nice to catch up with people I hadn't seen in a long time as well.
The Rodin FZ Track Tour in 2022 created special memories, lap records, and showcased a special New Zealand-built car. The tour hasn't been repeated since. After the 2022 season in Formula 2, Liam is currently racing in the Japanese Super Formula Championship, and his goal is still to become a Formula 1 driver.